Well, Freeman, RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com, talking about how to stop being tired all day. The secret is delegate, automate, or stop doing what you hate. Let me say that again. Delegate, automate, or stop doing what you hate. If you are tired all day, outside of the physical factors like, your diet's bad, you're not sleeping, and you're hitting snooze 100 times and you don't want to wake up and you're not excited about life, it's because your life sucks and you're doing what you hate. For example, if I had to be a taxi driver, okay, I would be tired all day. My back would hurt sitting still in the cab. I would have no energy because I'm entirely stifled the entire day because I'm doing something that I absolutely hate. Most people hate their jobs. I mean, it would be a totally different world if everybody had a set and refused to work in a factory and refused to work as a taxi driver. But that's not the case. The case is many people are just willing to take whatever job and they don't push through to get out of that situation, and they go into debt and they have a family before they can afford it, and all of a sudden they're tied to that income and it's difficult to get out. But for you to be able to enjoy your life, because the modern world is new, we're not supposed to live in these conditions. We're basically supposed to be hunter-gatherers with a lot of leisure time who hunt for our food, cook it, take care of children, take care of shelter, look out for predators. That's mostly it. All right, that's what we were doing for a million years before now. But now we've got this complex modern world, and it's a world where so many people have accepted the status quo or have accepted, taking any type of job. If everyone in the world said they wouldn't drive a cab, there would be maybe a few guys making 400 grand a year driving a cab for 4 hours a day, because they'd be the only ones willing to do it and they would get paid really well. But people are willing to do anything, and people live in such fear consciousness and believe so little in their own abilities that they're willing to do these jobs and they're willing to stay in these jobs. Even guys who are highly intelligent. I mean, one of my young clients, were working on getting rid of his fear consciousness about leaving his job. And he's already making almost as much from his personal training business as he is from his job after tax within 4 months of us doing this on the side of his job. Okay, as opposed to getting the job took him about 20 years because you needed a bachelor's degree for that job. Okay. Now he hates everything. He hates that job. I would hate that job too. Okay, but he's inspired. He's got energy because he's moving on, getting out of that job. So that's the thing. You might be thinking, well, maybe I can't just quit my job. Or maybe you're a really successful guy and you've got a successful business already. And you're thinking, well, I can't just shut down the business. The answer is yes, you can. You can always do that. You can always go sell ice cream bars on the beach and make $100 a day. Okay. You could sell anything. But I get it. There is a period where if you don't have any cash, you're kind of taking a big gamble. So there is a survival period. I was in survival for a long time without realizing it. I would still creep back into survival thinking, even when I was over in Thailand, because I had so much fear consciousness about revenue, because I lived and died on these sales revenue targets. And even though I'd saved a lot of money and I was cruising, and the apartment that you guys saw me in for a number of years was $300 a month. It was a joke to live over there. There would be months where I'd spend $1,000 or $1,500 at the most. And this is eating well and living well. But there is something to be said about being in survival, okay? You want to get out of that as fast as possible. If you're doing what I did, you're working that sales job, just save every dollar, build your business on the side, get the fuck out, go right into something that you love, and stay and thrive. If you're a successful business owner already, there's a good chance you're fucking miserable, okay? Some of those miserable people in the world are guys who have a lot of money and have a successful business, and a lot of them get fat. And here's the reason why: it's fucking stressful. You're doing so much stuff that you hate to get money. Like your entire day is like Chinese water torture, just like drip, 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 drip. Everything you hate. And it's just constant putting out fires, trying to build an empire. Which is why I tell guys like, hey, maybe you don't want to build an empire. Maybe you want a sole proprietor type of business, or you can scale up to 250 grand a year without having to hire somebody, or maybe like a couple employees. And then maybe after that, you know, you scale a bit further with those guys, and then you cull the bottom half of your clients, and you cull a couple of the negative employees, and you keep around 2 half employees who are like really good. Okay. This is something I was talking about with a client of mine who's, you know, an insurance broker doing 300 grand a year. Okay. But he's barely taking home more than when he was by himself, even though he has a staff of 5. Because they're servicing so many low-level clients and dealing with a couple people in the office to manage those clients who are not ultimately productive. And his whole day was like doing stuff that wasn't all that exciting, as opposed to being able to go out and close $10,000, $20,000 deals and get his client roster down from 400 clients to maybe 50 clients. Right? Or there were some guys in his industry who were doing 500-600K a year with 3 or 4 clients, which is where I'd rather be. I'd rather be dealing with those 20 or 30 or 40 clients at the most, servicing them really well. That's what I would be doing. Like if I'd stayed in Toronto and been an insurance broker, right? There was a, you know, financial services, real estate, insurance. Those are the big 3 service businesses. It would be high ticket, it would be premium, it would be boutique, it would be dealing with really good clients, maybe a couple support staff, and trying to take home like 400, you know, and be good with that. I'm not an empire builder. So at the end of the day, with the exception of this, I want to build the empire kind of like online with just mass, but not a mass of people that I have to manage, because now that's something I hate. I want to not do stuff that I hate, okay? And that's what money allows you to do, okay? But a lot of guys keep doing stuff that they hate for money, to make more money, so that they have more money to put into their business, to do more stuff that they hate. And it just doesn't end, okay? Remember, like, money's the tool for freedom. Money's the tool for happiness. Money allows you not to have to do stuff that you hate. That's the fucking point, right? Not to like never work. Let me just adjust this here because you'll get bored. Money is the tool to either let you stop doing stuff that you hate, delegate what you hate, or automate what you hate. I've automated a lot of stuff that I hate. I pay like 10 companies a month to do stuff for me. And then I've got one kind of half employee for my 6-figure business. And then basically all I do is coaching and videos, and gonna release my course. Gonna kind of move to like a quasi group coaching model with that, so that I can free up my schedule. Like I love having clients, but then, you know, it was starting to become like 8 hours a day of calls. I'm kind of like back in my sales job, except now I actually love my clients and like they're pleasant to talk to, but I'm basically tied to the phone. I gotta be home all day to make sure the Wi-Fi is good and there's not a bunch of noise on the call. And I really want to be able to do a lot more content. I want to be able to do a lot more research. I want to be able to do a lot more, maybe invest in more camera equipment and all that other stuff, and really like blow up and reach a lot of people. Like content and research is what I really love to do, and then maybe like in person, like I've been watching a lot of Julian Blanc's videos lately, and I really like what he's doing. I think it looks like he puts on some killer events, and moving more towards a model of what I love, and having like money being in there is the target, but by far not the main target. By far, by far, by far. And this is where someone like I would differ from Grant Cardone. Like I like a lot of Grant Cardone stuff. But ultimately the whole point is to be able to like wake up, hit your alarm clock, not hit snooze a million times, and roll out of bed and look at your calendar and look at your to-do list and look at your tick organizational system, which you get from my book How to Get Organized, soon to be in my course, and just be like, all good. What am I doing today? All good shit, right? Wake up, total energy, right? Like here's how my ideal day would look. Wake up at 5 or 6, and I've got most of this going already. Okay, I'm in sunshine, which means I'm probably bouncing back between Southeast Asia, where I used to live, Eastern Europe, where I am now. Won't be doing this winter again. It's mostly over. Okay, because sunshine's super important. So I wake up, sun's coming up, maybe just before. Wake up around 5 or 6. Handle my daily morning routine and my weekly or my daily communications routine, which is like answering emails, WhatsApps, etc., etc. That's done. Shower up, hit the gym. 2 hours in the gym. I'm doing light weights now. I'm kind of doing this major circuit around the gym, turning it into a damn Pilates studio to get those endorphins out. Really light weights, strengthening up the joints, and I feel fantastic after it. Come home, shower again, probably lie down for about half an hour, but without falling asleep. Okay. Then I'll probably check in on my group coaching, respond to messages, because I'll have released my course. Then I might have maybe one call. Like I probably wouldn't want to do more than one call a day. Calls will be an hour every weekday. And then I'll probably do some research. I'll do a video, do some research. And then the rest of the day is mine to spend with my girlfriend or the homies, or to go for a sauna or a steam bath, or to, like if I'm in Asia, take my motorcycle up the mountain, to do a meditation, to do like a deep dive into myself and see like how to maximize happiness, and then can I be able to transfer that to you guys. Basically, I've got a really good idea of what my ideal day looks like. It also doesn't cost a whole lot because I hate traveling. I don't even really care about shopping. Like all this furniture you see, like I'm renting this place pre-furnished, with the exception of that Xbox 360 over there, which I could leave on a dime. I could put my clothes into basically one suitcase. So I could do all that between Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe for like $3,000 a month, and still that we're talking about like totally like never cooking. I mean, I live on the food delivery apps, right? Being able to go to the best gyms, being able to go to the best restaurants if I'm taking somebody out, being able to maybe do little trips here and there, which I'm not even all that crazy about, and just be good. And then the rest of the cash I'm just stacking and just like buying more security, and then maybe like putting that back into the business to reach a higher audience and try and get like fame, because I think that would be exciting, like to be able to get my message on like a large audience without going full retard, meaning like those like dumb thumbnails with like this one simple trick to I would think that would be super dope. I have a ton of energy for that lifestyle. So like, what's your ideal day look like? Okay, all this is going to be broken down in the course when it's coming up, but you want to be able to be living your ideal day, where like back to back you're like good. Okay, another client of mine, he's a developer, so we got him working remotely from home That was the first step. Instead of quitting the job, we just got him working remotely. And the 8 hours a day he used to do at the office, we got it down to 2 focused hours a day. Because that's really all most employees put it, is like two focused hours a day. Okay. In addition to that, he's doing another 2 to 3 hours on these other clients that we've been pushing him to get after. And we've got his hourly rate up to maybe like $150 an hour, 5 hours a day. He's making more money at 23 than he ever has before. He's almost making as much, if not, will soon be making as much from his job as he is from freelancing as a developer. We're aiming for 200K this year. He's about 23. We're gonna get him $2,500 a month pad in downtown. Okay. Rest of his day is gonna be spent, after like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. He's done with his clients. He's probably done selling as well. He's done his 2 or 3 hours of selling, right? He's gonna have 4 or 5 hours of focused work a day. Rest of the day will be hitting the gym, seeing girls, playing guitar, playing in a band at night, and becoming like a mini celebrity within his city from his cover band, and playing like a show or 2 a week, and having like a big Facebook following, and making like 200K a year with like not a whole lot of expenses outside of like a nice apartment in America and in downtown for like $2,500 a month, but still going to be able to save like at least 10 grand a month, including the taxes. So like, and the work that he's doing is going to be work that he's enjoying. Like, we figured out like there's a lot of, he's like a top 0.1% program. He's a fucking rock star. But there's a lot of shit within programming that's boring as fuck for him. What he likes is novelty and doing new projects and doing like mobile development and building apps, right? Like, I couldn't program a microwave, so I only have a limited understanding of like what he actually does. But all I know is that like we don't have him doing shit that he hates, because then it's hard for him to even do an hour of focused work. Okay, and he's gonna be so much better anyways at doing stuff that he loves. Now, is everybody in the world gonna be able to do what they love? Well, not in this current world, not in a world with janitors and taxi drivers. I mean, no, like if everybody stopped doing that stuff and we tried to live like a more natural life, like I would be okay with that. Like I would be okay if everybody was happy and smiling, going to pick up my food, like losing the food delivery. But, we're not going to live in a world like that because there's just so much programming. Okay, people are so programmed to do that. So most people aren't going to have the option, or most people aren't going to do what they love. But everyone has the option. Okay, if you're willing to pay the price for action, there might be a pay price for action for getting out of survival. Like, to go back to the other client who's building his personal development business, personal training business. We got him going door to door, right? He's doing shit that he hates now, but he's actually inspired by it because the timeline is getting so much shorter for when he can quit his job and fully do what he loves and scale that business up online so we can get him off the fucking door to door. Okay. So the survival mode, the doing shit that you hate, remember this, it's a means to an end. It's not the end in itself. It's not do shit that I hate forever to perpetually acquire more money, which I'm never going to spend, or which I spend on like luxury goods that ultimately don't make me all that happy for too long anyways, to just perpetuate this endless cycle, right? No, money's a tool. Get out of survival as quick as you can, get into thrival, and start doing what you love, and pick the business in the mission of something that you love. Okay, something that you love and can get paid well for. And I would venture as far to say that like basically any service business, almost any service business, you can do like 200K as a sole proprietor. If you're willing to hustle, you might have to do some shit that you hate to get it started. Okay, but once you've scaled up, you can do that and you can actually enjoy it. And that's when you cull all the shit clients, right? That's when you cut like 50% of your clients or 80% in some cases. You know, you keep leveling up to like more levels of stuff that you like. I call it like levels of luxury in your business, right? That's the end game, to be able to do what you love. And this is something that Dr. John DeMartini talks about a lot, who I really like. And his things that he loves is teaching, traveling, doing research, and public speaking. And that's all that he does. He's just automated the rest of it. Now, he makes good money, but I'm sure he could be making 10x if he was willing to do all kinds of other stuff that he hated, right? You know, if he was willing to, you know, be physically located in his office and you know, constantly be doing cold calls and whatever. But he values that like solely doing what he loves. Okay, and that's ideally. I'm like 80% of the way there. But that's the end game, right? Waking up, doing what you love, doing what you love, doing what you love. And don't think that you can't start today, all right? If you're sitting there, you're watching this, and you hate your fucking job, and you hate your boss, and you hate your colleagues, you have nothing to lose, okay? That's an STD. It's something to be gotten rid of. There's nothing to hold on to there. The average, like, middle-class life is so boring to me. Some people might enjoy it, but it's so fucking boring. Like, if you're feeling that way and this message is resonating with you, you can quit your job today. Okay. Like, ideally, you quit your job when you've got at least 50K in the bank, but you could also quit your job today if you're willing to go hard on doing your business and you're willing to live cheap and, you know, you're willing to do whatever it takes, like to do the thing that inspires you, you know. Because the money won't make you happy. Money won't make you happy when you hate your day, when you hate what you do. Like, think about that for a second. Like, most of us were pretty happy when we were like little kids, right? It would be like, school was kind of fun because it wasn't that academic. You got to see all your friends. There was recess, there was sports. Then after that, you go over to your friend's house like I did, and we played Nintendo. And you'd have sleepovers, and like if it was a really good week, you get to have pizza and Coke, and that was just, and like ice cream, and then you're in heaven because you're super grateful, your body's healthy, and you know, you're mostly doing what you love. Like, okay, we get older, we think money's gonna make us happy. We think we need all this money. I mean, go get money for sure, but don't have it be the sole purpose. Have it be like a major purpose. Like, I still think you need to make 6 figures in the West for sure. Ideally, you know, 200 or 400 if you're gonna plan on living in North America or whatever. But I know that you can do that in a vehicle that you like. And you could do significantly less if you're living Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, etc. And there's nothing stopping you from getting on the plane. You know, if you hate your life in Canada and you just got through winter and you're like never again, right? There's nothing stopping you. Like, if you've got a business already and it's remote, you've got 50 grand in the bank, from going to Thailand like I did. Like, the world is totally open. There's no rules. You know, the boxes in your head. Like, I'm not saying, you know, be financially irresponsible, you know, and like a lot of guys would come out to Thailand with like $1,000 in the bank account, no business experience, trying to start a drop shipping business. I'm like, don't be stupid about it. Have the plan, have the exit plan. You can find that in my book, How to Sell. But do what you love, okay? And if you're not doing what you love right now, aim to delegate what you hate, or you know, to an employee or a half employee. Aim to automate what you hate to a company. I use SoundCloud for podcasts, Aweber for email, you know, all these different companies that help me. Or to stop doing it. I wrote articles for a long time, and I really started to hate writing articles because it's introverted work. I've got to sit there, I've got to type away, I've got to stare at a screen. I'm a perfectionist, which is hard to change when you're writing an article, and nobody reads articles anymore anyways. I just stopped doing that. Some people wish I would go back to the articles, but you're gonna have to live with the videos and the audios because I can just do them in 20 minutes, 30 minutes with no editing on one take. And it's just so much more pleasant. And there's just so much less work that goes into it. Had a million other projects that I was planning on doing, and I just fucking samurai sword to them, right? It's gonna be one course, one coaching offer, which will, if you want to upgrade to one-on-one coaching with me, and then it's gonna be these videos, and I convert them into audio for the podcast. Okay, but I still have all the articles on my site if you're interested. And a lot of the material that's on them will be included in the course. So ultimately that allows me to create my ideal day. And another way to make this so much easier is to not care about spending money. If you can kind of remove yourself from clout chasing to a degree where you're not trying to buy a Ferrari and stuff, and you can live good, especially in Asia or whatever, and you don't have a family and you're not legally married, it's that just makes it so much easier to be able to do what you love, because you don't need to make 10 grand a month to pay for your life, right? You need to make 2 or 3 in the Philippines or in Thailand or in Eastern Europe or wherever. And that just makes it so much easier. So, like my man says right here, you see that Scarface shirt? The world is yours. The world is yours. Okay? Life is too short to do what you hate. It's too short. It's too short to do what you hate. If you hate your life right now, if you're waking up and you're like, fuck all this shit, okay? You need to make a change. You need to make a change. You need to find a vehicle that you're gonna love doing. There's no point being alive if you're not doing what you love. There's no point living in survival every day with a never-ending list of shit that you hate just to be able to survive the day, just to get to the next day, just to live a subsistence level, boring, mediocre, shit tepid, life where you're living at 10% of your potential. There's just no point to that. There's no point to that. Okay? If you're not waking up doing what you love, there's major problems there. And this applies if you're successful. Okay? If you're successful, the move might be less is more. It might be downsizing your business. It might be just instead of trying to expand to 100 million a year, you go from 10 mil a year down to 3, but your take-home pay goes up to 600. Because building an empire, especially one that's in that from 10 to 40 people in that range, is ugly. It's an ugly business. And it's kind of one of those things where if you go halfway with it, even if you're making 8 figures, it's ugly because you're tied into every decision. You don't have enough distance between you and have team leaders to handle people who are coming in and out of the door, and to handle sort of the disputes of the employees and stuff. Managing people, if you hate having colleagues, managing people is barely better than that. It's barely better than that. It's almost like you created a job for yourself, that you hate. I've seen this with a lot of successful guys. You've created you get out of the workplace, you build a successful business, and you fucking hate it. You hate, and it's putting out fires every day. And it's people quitting every day, or they don't quit, but you have to fire somebody. So, it might be downgrading to be okay, I'm going to keep the key employees who are legit. We're going to get rid of these 30 or 40% of our clients who are problem clients, or they just don't pay us enough and are taking up too much of our time. And I'm going to increase my take home, and I'm going to stop putting this crazy pressure on myself to scale up to 100 mil. and I'm gonna be good with, taking home my 400 or 500 or my 600, you know, or my mill a year, like one of my clients was doing. Now, he's still in that expansion mode, but maybe in the future he might change his mind and like just get rid of doing all the stuff that he hates, because he'll start to see through the lessons of like the more money, he can make, take home 2, 3, 4, 7, 10, but the happiness isn't going up, right? It's like the Einstein's quote, like, the basis of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, right? It's like if more girls and more money isn't doing it, right, something needs to change. And a lot of the time, like some of that time it's inner work, but a lot of that time it's just like, it's so simple. It's just like, well, I don't do what I love. Like, I don't love my job. I don't love my business, right? And like you could be a yoga teacher. I know you can make easy 200 grand in a yoga brand, okay? Literally, like with the internet and the way things are today, and all this technology, and the fact that you can reach people through courses, and you can do online ads, and you can do seminars in Costa Rica and all that stuff. You can do 200 as a yoga teacher if you're willing to go hard. So like, if you're successful, this applies to you. This probably applies more to you, right? Almost every successful guy puts on weight because of all the stress and just doing stuff that he hates for so long. I almost see like with successful guys have like CPTSD, like complex post-traumatic stress disorder, because the amount of pain and suffering and fear and stress that they've endured to build a big business. Like, to build an empire is super stressful. Super stressful. So on the flip side, like if you're really successful, less is more might be the move. Going back to like a semi-sole prop, maybe 5 employees, but your take home is like 500 grand and you actually enjoy what you do, or at least you're not doing what you hate anymore. So in summary, if you're tired all day, it's probably because you're doing what you hate. And if you're sleeping, your diet's bad, right? That makes you more tired, but your sleep and your diet's probably bad because you're doing what you hate all day. Like, you hate your job or your business is killing you. And then you aggressively try and seek pleasure in food and alcohol, and now your sleep is messed up, so you can't sleep properly, and your body doesn't feel good, and you don't want to go to the gym because you already hate your life, and that's just another fucking thing you have to do. And it's a vicious cycle. And so much of it started with the fact that like you just don't love your life. You just wake up and don't love what you're gonna do that day. And that's every day. And that's fucking Groundhog Day. And you're just hitting the alarm 17 times every day. That does not have to be your life, man. It does not have to be your life. Okay. I've got a bunch of things on my to-do list today. And a few of them I don't want to do, but I don't actually have to do them. I don't have to do an hour of coursework today if I didn't want to. You can live anywhere. You can do any service business and make 6 figures. And you don't have to be tied to a job. You don't have to work a job. You don't have to live a middle-class script. You don't have to get married. You don't have to live in the suburbs. You don't have to put money into a 401k. You don't have to watch the news. You don't have to do anything. There's nothing you're obligated to do except for follow the laws. And other than that, the world's yours. See? The world's yours. The world is yours. And the key to that is enjoying what you do and making money from it and being paid handsomely for it. And here's a secret within enjoying what you do. Work that you love for people that you love. If you hate what you do, one of those two things isn't being fulfilled. Either you don't love your work, or you don't love your clients and your colleagues, or you hate both of those things, which is how I felt in many jobs. I hate this job, hate the people I work with. Hate, 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 hate. There's a good chance if you're working a job, that's how you feel. No wonder you're fucking tired. And no wonder you overeat, you don't go to the gym, you know, you watch porn, etc. Because how can you, it's very difficult to be happy when you hate what you do. You hate the customers because maybe they treat you badly, and you hate the colleagues because maybe they're treating you badly too. So there's just no point living like that. There's no point. Work that you love for people that you love. Work that you love for people that you love. When you are doing work that you love for people that you love, you'll have energy all day for that kind of work. And I'd add the third one, being able to get paid handsomely for it. Or at least a six-figure income, or a second or third world equivalent of whatever that is. And your life will get significantly better. And your energy levels will go up significantly. So that's it for today. If you want help with this, revolutionarylifestyledesign.com/coaching. Holler at your boy. This applies to you whether you're a young guy. Like half my clients are young guys building their business. The other half are older guys in their 40s who are, or late 30s and 40s who are millionaires and are successful, but aren't happy, or like medium happy. This applies both to you. This might even apply more if you're successful, because the scary thing is when you have the money and you've had success with the women and all that, and it doesn't make you happy. And making more money is not going to change that if you don't love what you do. So that's it for today. Be sure to check me out, revolutionarylifestyledesign.com. You can check out all my articles there. As I said, if you want help with coaching, I'm there for you, man. If not, just you can hit me up in the comments section with what you think about this video. And as always, much love to you. All the best in your personal development journey.